Hi friends, in this video I would like to take you through the activity of configuration of product category for the trading inventory items. Okay, so trading inventory items in short are those items which we buy from external vendors with the intention to be resold to the customers at a higher price to earn profit. So that means these are items which we buy for the to support the principal operations of our business. Okay, so principal operation is buying the goods and selling it to customers to earn profit. So all such items which we buy with the intention to resell will form part of inventory. That is one of the basic accounting concepts. So let's see how to create a product category or how to configure a product category in Odoo for trading items of inventory. Okay, and the configuration of product category for consumables and services, that will form a separate part of the inventory product category configuration. The product category configuration method, everything is different for such items, but for trading inventory items it should be followed by a particular protocol. Certain account mappings, journal mappings, and certain other elements are required to be followed while creating a product category for trading inventory items. So let's see quickly how you can configure a product category for trading inventory items. So that for that I just take you to the inventory module straight away. So from the inventory module you have to access the configuration from the top console, and you have to go to product categories option. So once you are in the product category creation page, the first thing what you have to do is you have to create a new product category using the new button available at the top left corner of your screen. So just click on the new button. That will create, or that will give you a form opened in front of you for the configuration of a product category. So I just give the product name as trading products. Okay, and in bracket I give inventory or stock as you prefer. And the next thing what you have to do is, if any parent category is applicable for that, you can give it. For example, if you are doing a supermarket business, in that case this is the parent category for the trading items. Okay, and when you want to create subcategories, when you create the next category, you shall give the product category name as groceries. Okay, you might be dealing with grocery items, or even you might be having further classification like spices, cereals, pulses, poultry items, dairy items, meat items, fish items, then other fruits, vegetables. All such items are dealt with in a supermarket business. So for all such product categories which are created as subcategories, the parent category will be trading products. So this is the ultimate parent category that lies at the apex level of your business structure, that will be used as a parent category for all such subsequent subcategories. Okay, so currently I don't give any parent category here. Instead I straight away go to force removal strategy. There I have to map first in first out, denoting when you don't have the tradition of following the inventory tracking by way of lots and expiry dates, then you just go for first in first out. But if you have lot number and expiry date provided to all the products based on the tracking enabled in the inventory settings, then you will have to go for first expiry first out. So all such items, our business policy or the management's policy will be to remove from the inventory whenever sale is happening the items which happen to have the earliest expiry date. Okay, so the items which are to expire at the earliest date will be removed out of the inventory whenever sale delivery happens. And if the expired, if no such control policy is applicable for you, you can go for first in first out. So the items which you have received first, okay, that will be moved out of the inventory whenever a sale delivery happens. Okay, and so that depends upon the management's policy. The next thing is costing method. Ideally average cost is preferred by majority of the clients, because the product is being purchased at various purchase unit prices over a period of time or over an operating cycle, based on the fluctuations which happen to those products in the market, and therefore majority of the clients follow average cost method. So every time when you make a purchase and eventually when you get the GRN validated, the unit price or the unit cost of the product gets recomputed by the system based on the unit price that you input in the purchase order while you create the purchase activity. Okay, or while you perform the purchase activity, because in the GRN we don't have any option to inject directly the purchase unit price, but we mention within the purchase order the unit price at which we are about to buy so much of quantity of a particular trading item. And in the GRN you again have the option to create a back order and all. That's a different thing. We will discuss that in a later stage. So based on that, every time when you have a purchase receipt validated, the unit cost of the product gets automatically recalculated by the system. And to support that automatic recalculation of the unit cost, you need to enable the inventory valuation as automated, so that more fields get appearing in your screen in front of you, and you need to map all of them. I mean, you need to fill all of them because all of them are mandatory fields. So the next thing what you have to do is income account. That is one of the mandatory fields in a product category configuration activity. So income account is the revenue account, or the income principal, or income account that is to be credited whenever an invoice is booked. Okay, so I just map it as the default account provided by Odoo, which is known as sales account. If you want to rename that account, either from here using the internal link, or you just go to the chart of accounts and create an or rename an account as sales revenue or revenue from operations, as you prefer, or as per the preference of the management. Then expense account, cost of goods sold in trading is given over here. When you follow Anglo-saxon accounting, you can use cost of goods sold in trading, but I am currently following continental accounting for this particular product category setup, and especially continental accounting is being used for the entire company, because we cannot use continental accounting for certain product categories, and we cannot go for Anglo-saxon accounting for some other categories. If you apply continental accounting in the database, the company will follow continental accounting or Anglo-saxon accounting, whichever we choose, for the entire lifetime until we change it. Okay, so when we apply that change, it will be applicable for the entire company setup. Okay, so expense account, I would like to map here the account that will be debited when you validate the vendor bill for the purchase. So I would like to map here an account called unbilled purchase account. Or else, if you have already in the chart of accounts an account called stock interim, you shall map that particular account. But I currently don't have such an account, so I give an account over here called unbilled purchases account. Okay, so such an account is not there in the chart of accounts, so I just create it. It's a new account that I am creating over there, and I give some random account code over here. Okay, the type should be current liability, and I will tell you the relevance of this account later. So I give the account type as current liability, I allow reconciliation, and then I have to save and close. So what happens is, unbilled purchase account I map in the expense account field. Okay, now when it comes to the case of stock valuation account, ideally closing stock account or stock in trade account is not available in Odoo chart of account, so I'm just creating a new account again, stock in trade account, but I'm not able to create an account here. So I take a duplicated tab, and in the duplicated tab I just take you to the chart of accounts. So in the chart of accounts, I create a new account, stock in trade account, and the account type should be current assets, as we know, because it is always located in the balance sheet, and current stock is something which is owned by the business, which is the belonging of the business, therefore it is current asset or asset. And since it is transformed into another form within 12 months period of time, we have to classify it as a current asset. That is one of the basic principles of accounting. Again, input account, stock input account. So this is the account. So stock valuation account, this account will be debited whenever stock is coming into the business. That means while you validate the GRN, a journal entry will be created, and the stock in trade account will be debited. Okay, and the stock input account is the account that gets credited when the GRN is validated. So when GRN is validated, a journal entry will be created wherein stock valuation account will be debited to denote the inflow of inventory, and stock input account will be credited to satisfy the double entry system of accounting. Okay, and we are just validating the GR. At that point of time, we are not validating the vendor bill. Therefore, only at the time of validating the vendor bill, the payable account or the vendor payable account will be credited. So in the while validating the GRN, no credit will be given to the vendor account. So the credit has to go to some other account, or a control account or a parking account, to satisfy the double entry accounting. That is why we map unbilled purchase account over here, and literally unbilled purchase account. But just by seeing the name of the account, we can understand that it is some purchase of inventory which we have received but not yet billed. That means inventory purchase has happened, the receipt has happened, but the vendor bill is not yet booked, or the vendor bill is not yet validated. Therefore, the payable is not yet booked. Okay, that is why we park that balance of credit in a parking account, which is a current liability code, and unbilled purchase account. Eventually, when the vendor bill is validated, this unbilled purchase account will be debited and the vendor payable account will be credited. So at that point of time, what happens is this unbilled purchase account will be getting debited with the same value that got credited in the journal entry generated at the time of validating GRN. Okay, so at that point, when we validate the vendor bill, the unbilled purchase account balance will come down to zero. And also mind the fact that every time when we see some balance hanging in the unbilled purchase, the prima facie impression that we should get is some balance is hanging in the unbilled purchase account just because there is some GRN already validated, but the vendor bill for that purchase order is not yet validated. So we need to follow up that purchase order. So it's a kind of reminder for us. Okay, and the last thing is stock output account. We saw earlier that by default expense account was mapped with cost of goods sold account, this field. Okay, but we remove that account from there because we are not following Anglo-saxon accounting. So when we are following the continental accounting, we have to map cost of goods sold account in the stock output account. Sorry, not this end. It should be cost of goods sold in trading account. Okay, now save this product category. So the product category configuration is done for our first product category, which is trading products inventory. In another video, we will see how to configure a product category for service type of products and consumable type of products. And production account, if we are dealing with only trading business, that means buying and selling of goods, then this production account field is not mandatory. So production account is applicable when you have manufacturing activities. That means you use some components to manufacture some other product, and at that time we map here the work in progress account. So that account will be debited when you consume the raw materials, and that account will be credited when you get the final finished products manufactured as an output of, or as the output of the manufacturing activity. So this account currently I am not touching it, or that field I am currently not touching it, because I am showing you the configuration for a product category, configuration of a product category only for a trading business, a pure trading business. Let's see in the future videos how to configure a product category when we have manufacturing activities. And you have price difference account which can be mapped over there to effect into the inventory some difference in the price which happens as a part of purchase activity. For example, when we have a discount received from a vendor, and if you want to apply that upon the inventory valuation, then just opposite to what we see in the landed cost expense allocation, we can map that account over there and reduce the inventory's total value. That is again a different operation. We will see that workflow in another video. And down payment account is the account that we map over there, which will be used for creation of invoice involving down payment product. For example, when we have sale order confirmed but the delivery notice not validated, therefore no invoice can be created for the delivery of the goods. Okay, because no delivery has happened, and therefore we cannot invoice the customer for the products which we sell. But assume that as part of our agreement we receive some kind of down payment from the customer in the initial phase of the business. That down payment or the advance can be accounted directly by mapping an account over here. So whenever a product is being involved in a sale activity, whenever a product coming under this particular product category is being involved in a sale activity, and if we receive any down payment from that customer, we have to map that account over here, which will be credited in that invoice while we create the invoice for that down payment received from the customer. We will see that in detail later in a video. So this is how you have to configure a product category for a trading item of inventory. So let's see more concepts in the upcoming videos. Thank you. Follow us for more videos and demonstrations. Thank you.